Well, welcome back into the studio. I am so glad you've stuck with me this far. If you have missed any of the 13 days journal here, there is a playlist, and I will list it at the end of this video. On the left hand side, you'll see the playlist there for the entire video. I will also put it down below in the video description for you. I will also list all products down below as well. All right, so now that we have that layer down, we're gonna come in and work on getting our next layer on. So now the fun stuff begins. You're gonna see me go through, and I'm gonna concentrate on each layout more intensively than I have before. So I'm going to come in now with the stencils that kind of appear in some of those gel prints that I already collaged down, and come in with some paint, some ink, and start using those stencils directly on the page, giving it another layer and just really building that up. Now you see me using this Derwent pencil in black, and originally I toyed with different ideas of what I wanted to use this journal for. So you may remember me saying it had a lot of different versions of it, and this was one of them. I quickly abandoned it, but I liked the sense of text that you felt like was happening in the background. So you'll see as this kind of progresses and some changes happen throughout. And here I'm doing some dry brushing with my finger, just coming in with some of that white gesso just to give a pop to some areas of texture. Alright, these little gems in this plastic bag are my scrap pieces of binding that I decided I wanted to use in this journal. So you're going to see me kind of prepare a bunch of them to use on each page, and the method that I used on this first page is kind of what I'm going to use on each of the pages as I go through them. So this box is my spray box that I've made for myself. I'm getting these wet with some water, and then I'm going to come in with some acrylic ink in white, and then I'm going to let them dry and come back in with some black alcohol ink, and that's how I'm going to prepare these little bits of binding.
What you think now? I'm so happy that I found out you were nothing but a fake clone, and I can say it out loud. When my mommy said your story, I really had to write it down, 'cause it's the best kind of story.
So I went back in with some white alcohol ink as well at the end, let these dry, and now I am starting to go through some black and white sari that I wanted to use specifically with these pieces throughout each of the layouts. And of course, what layout wouldn't be complete without a little thread involved? Gotta get those fibers in there.
Kim, are you still there? Hello? I am going to call your mommy.
I could be raw, I could be tall. I make you feel real uncomfortable. Can give you my finger, but not my hand. I won't do your silly little dance. Don't need hugs, done with the joke. I know your next move. I can be calm, moving fast. Catch if you can, and I'm happy you can't stand it. Make me high then low. Told me let's take it slow. Next thing that I know, you got an next best. Summer soon, body knows ya. Soon too, you'll find out that. But you just wanna roll.
So I'm going to take that first process that I did for the first layout, and I'm going to kind of repeat that with some nuances here and there throughout all the pages. So adding the second layer of the stencil work using some acrylic paint, and going in and doing some reduction with the gesso, highlighting some of the texture, adding the book binding scraps along with some of that sari. So I'm going to go through that same process again.
What you think now? I'm so happy that I found out you were nothing but a fake clown, and I can say it out loud. When my mommy said your story, I really had to write it down, cause it's the best kind of story, and you're hearing it now. Weekends spent in the studio, weekdays kinda like bros. I think back and it's obvious, obvious, obvious. I could be raw, I could be tall. I make you feel real uncomfortable. Can give you my finger, but not my hand. I won't do your silly little dance. Don't need hugs, done with the joke. I know your next move. I can be calm, moving fast. Catch if you can, and I'm happy you can't stand it. So you call my mommy, say you're moving with somebody. So ironic. So you call my mommy, say you're moving with somebody. So ironic.
Are you sure not with that? Try him, he won't answer.
Kim, are you still there? Hello? I am going to call your mommy.
I could be raw, I could be tall. I make you feel real uncomfortable. Can give you my finger, but not my hand. I won't do your silly little dance. Don't need hugs, done with the joke. I know your next move. I can be calm, moving fast. Catch if you can, and I'm happy you can't stand it. Make me high then low. Told me let's take it slow. Next thing that I know, you got an next best. Summer soon, body knows ya. Soon too, you'll find out that. But you just wanna roll, and all I think is whoa. Weekends spent in the studio, weekdays kinda like bros. I think back and it's obvious, obvious, obvious. I could be
So you may be asking, what is she writing on these pages? Well, I'm using the Stabilo All pencil in black, and I am writing basically a sentence that starts with the word 13, like just quips that come to me, you know, the 13 days before we met, or just kind of abstract kind of thoughts about the number 13, like what events could be happening in someone's life based on that. So it wasn't really words that really were meant to be read. It was just words. And I just felt like instead of doing a semic writing, that I wanted the word 13 possibly to be clear. So that's what I ended up going in and writing. And then, of course, I'm spraying that with water, activating that so that it just kind of runs and catches with the texture and does its thing. Those Stabilo All pencils are just phenomenal. I love them. And you can get them to be more of a gray, lighter, all the way to like super heavy black. So they're really wonderful. So that's all I'm writing in here. You're going to notice from this stage into the final flip through that there is many more changes that happen with this journal, because I just never felt like it was complete. So the process that I went through is that I got this done and I thought it was done and I felt like it was done and it was a standalone. And I was thinking about all those little things that happened to us during the time that, just during our times on this planet, and what is significant about possible days. And I submitted this to Tina Walker for the StencilGirl Stencil blog post that was happening because of it. But then again, turned around and Strawberry Moon magazine, and then it came back and it was published, and then I woke up in the middle of the night and had my final idea of how to actually finish this journal. And it was interesting because I usually take a journal once it's done. I kind of go through it, make sure everything is well adhered, etc. This one, I never did that process. It kind of sat on my shelf for a little while, and until I had this idea, and you'll see it here, not in this video, but you're in this series, you're going to end up seeing that, and I'll talk about it more then. But yeah, this one was quite the process for me. So what you just saw me do was I actually took one of the gel prints that was on a thicker, like cardstocks type paper, and it was done with the same stencil. So I just cut that out and added that to the part that I had just used the stencil with the acrylic paint, and added it so it looked like a flare almost coming off of it. It does give it some nice dimension. So now I'm just coming in back with the same process, coming in with the white gesso, pushing some stuff back, catching texture where I can.
No matter what you think now, I'm so happy that I found out you were nothing but a fake clone, and I can say that.
So this time I'm coming in with a different type of fiber. Instead of using the sari ribbon, I'm using this is a unusual piece of yarn, I think I would consider it. It's a fiber. And I'm gonna come in just like I did the bookbinding pieces with the alcohol inks, give it some color, and I'm gonna use that to layer with the bookbinding piece as opposed to the sari ribbon, just to change things out a bit. And in that green bottle, it is just some isopropyl alcohol. So I'm just adding a little bit of alcohol to that to make that kind of, that black alcohol ink just bleed into that piece of fiber.
Kim, are you still there? Hello? I am going to call your
let's take it slow. Next thing that I know, you got a next best. Summer soon, body snows, yeah. Soon too, you'll find out that. But you just wanna roll, and all I think is whoa. Weekends spent in the studio, weekdays kinda like bros. I think back and it's obvious, obvious, obvious. I could be raw, I could be tall, I make you feel real uncomfortable. Can give you my finger but not my hand. I won't do your silly little dance. Don't need hugs, don't look at jaws. I know your next move, I can be calm. Moving fast, catch if you can. And I'm happy you can stand it. So you call my mommy, say you're moving with somebody. So ironic. So you call my mommy, say you're moving with somebody. So ironic. No matter what you think now,